Hello, today we're going to do lesson 14, fractions, expanding and reducing fractions. First, we have to remember what a fraction is. A fraction tells us what a part out of a total. So the numerator is the one on the top and the denominator is the one on the bottom. The denominator tells us how many parts the whole or the unit is divided into, and the numerator tells us how many parts are shaded or used or the part that is being represented. So let's look at these drawings and represent each one of these. 1/4 is the unit divided in 4 pieces because we have a 4 in the denominator, and then just coloring one of them. That is 1/4. Then we have 2/4, and 2/4 is again divided in 4 pieces, and then we color 2 of the parts, and that represents 2/4. Then we have 3/4, again we divide in 4, and now we color 3. And finally, we have 4/4 that we have to then color all 4 of them. Now we have to notice a couple of things. For example, that 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Because notice that if I just take this whole part here, is half of the circle. The other thing that we have to notice is that 4/4 is the same as 1. Because it's the whole unit that we colored. So that's what we're going to be working. We're going to be looking at different ways of writing the same fraction or the same value, but in different ways. So if it says that we have to expand 3/4 so that the denominator is 24, what we want is to have 24 in the denominator. So what we need to see is what number are we multiplying that for to get to 24. And in this case, we're going to multiply times 6. Now, if we multiply the bottom, we also have to multiply the top, and we get 18. Imagine you have a big pizza, and you cut the pizza in 4 pieces. And out of those 4 pieces, you eat 3. Well, if you cut the same pizza in 24 pieces, the pieces would be a lot smaller. So you would have to eat more pieces of pizza, which in this case is 18 pieces, in order to eat the same as 3/4. So the pieces are smaller, and that's why you have to eat more or have more pieces. But the point is that 3/4 is the same as 18 24ths. And the way we found it is by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So let's look at another example. In this case, we want a denominator of 20. So what we're going to do is we're going to first write the denominator of 5. Remember that 5 is the same as 5/1 because 5 divided by 1 is 5. So I write what is the denominator that I want, which in this case is 20, and I have to think about what number do I have to multiply 1 to get 20. In this case is 20, because 1 times 20 is 20. And what I do on the bottom, I also do on the top. So 5 times 20 is 100. And that would be the answer. Now, if you divide 100 divided by 20, what do you get? You get 5. That's why it's exactly the same. Now let's do the next one. If we want the same denominator 20, and so I have to see what I'm going to multiply the 5 by. So I have to multiply 5 by 4. And if I do it on the denominator, I do it on the top. And that would be 12. And that's the answer. In 14.3, they're asking us to reduce. So in this case, we need to simplify, we need to reduce, we need to divide both of the numbers by the same number so that we get it to its lowest terms. We're going to put the 30 and the 45, and we're going to divide by the same number both on the top and on the bottom. So if we do that, 30 divided by 5 is 6, and 45 divided by 5 is 9. Now, since we can still divide more, we will continue because they're asking for the lowest terms, which means where we can't divide anymore. So now we divide both of them by 3. It has to be the same number on the top and the bottom. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's nothing else we can do because 2 and 3 are prime numbers, so that would be the answer. Okay? Now, in 14.4, they're saying to reduce this fraction using the GCF, the greatest common factor. So, instead of going in 2 steps like we did in this exercise, we're going to do it in 1 step. Now, we clearly need to find first what is the GCF so that then we can use that number to simplify or to reduce. So we have to start by dividing. We can divide both of them by 2, which would be 8 and 16. Then by 2 again, which would be 4 and 8. Then by 2 again, which would be 2 and 4. And by 2 again, which would be 1 and 2. Remember, when we can't do any more here, we multiply here to find the GCF. In this case, it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. So, I'm going to divide by 16 both of them. Instead of dividing by 2 and then dividing by 2 and then dividing by 2, I am going to do it in 1 step using the GCF. And so 16 divided by 16 is 1, and 32 divided by 16 is 2. That would be this fraction reduced to its lowest terms. Now notice an interesting thing that you can see is that these numbers that we have here, the 1 and the 2, are also the numbers we have here. So that's it. I hope it was very clear. If you have any questions, let me know. Have fun doing your homework.